we do we click on continue?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aloha, everyone. While we just started the webinar, so while we get all of our attendees in, we'll just wait for just a few minutes while everyone joins us. Hello, everyone. For those of you just joining us, we're just going to wait another minute while other attendees join in, and then we'll get started. Okay, Pam, I think we can go ahead and start.
All right. Well, aloha and welcome, everyone. I'm Pamela Timpot, president of the Maui Chamber of Commerce, and we are excited to welcome you to what I am calling Imipono 1.1. This is Imipono moving forward. The 2020 Imipono Challenge was for middle school and high school students, and it was initiated by the County Council to harness bold and innovative ideas for bolstering Maui County's economy. Students were encouraged to reimagine, recommit, and recreate to help make things right for Maui County moving forward into the future. Their ideas could be a new innovation, a service, a technique, an application, or a product with a focus on the subjects of healthcare, research, technology, sustainable food supply, culture and the arts, social services, government, innovation, or affordable housing. 175 entries were received from students across Maui County, with 40 finalists, and they were judged by a diverse panel of industry, community, and entrepreneurial leaders who were all so impressed that we heard over and over again, it was hard to pare down from 175 entries to 40 semifinalists, and from 40 semifinalists to 6 winners. Today, you're going to hear from 5 of those 6 2020 winners, and you're going to love learning about their amazing ideas. We're also excited to share that Maui Economic Opportunity is working on the next version. I'm not sure they're calling it 2.0, but I'm calling it 2.0, the next round for 2021 of Imipono, with a slightly different focus, but again, reaching out to the middle and high schools to engage our youth in, again, looking at new ways to re-envision and imagine our county. I also want to share that through the MEO Business Development Center, David Daly is offering a class on teen financial literacy. It's an online workshop that will be offered on June 8th, 10th, 15th, and 17th, where teens will learn about budgeting and savings, basic banking, how to apply for jobs, credit and its importance, and so much more. So for information, please call MEO Business Development Center at 808-243-4347. And in partnership with the work that Maui Economic Opportunity is doing, Maui Chamber of Commerce is also involved in the Moving Forward project, both by sharing this forum today, which is being recorded so that those who couldn't attend tonight can watch a rebroadcast of what you're learning tonight, as well as an internship program that we're working with. We're looking at customized internships for any of the participants in the top 40 finalists that are interested in further pursuing their projects. We will be pairing those youth leaders with business leaders and mentors in their specific project areas, working on a schedule that's very flexible based on both the youth participant and business mentors' schedules, and helping them further advance their projects. So all of this was the seed that was planted by Council Chair Alice Lee. This was her vision that she worked on to work with her colleagues to make this happen. There was a great video that they all created that was a lot of fun. We look forward to the coming video. But what I'd like to do is recognize and ask Council Chair Alice Lee to please share a few words.
Aloha. Hi, Pam. Hi, everyone.
Aloha.
Thank you for inviting me. As you know, last year, COVID-19, the pandemic caused major havoc in the community, including high unemployment, business closures, and a dramatic rise in public health and safety issues. The pandemic and its aftermath may continue to negatively impact our economy for years to come. So last year, we took a survey of Maui County residents on what the new normal should look like. And a lot of people felt we should diversify our economy and look for innovative solutions, create new directions and initiatives that could help reshape our economy and also enrich our quality of life. And so that survey, without question, emphasized the need for new directions. So the council members and I thought, who better than our youth to help us with Imipono, or seek and strive for the right way? And the council decided to create a contest in the summer of 2020. We launched the inaugural Imipono Challenge for middle and high school students to present their ideas for a new invention, as you said, service, or product to help boost our local economy. So what we did to, let's see, to arouse excitement and interest was to come up with this rap video. and and I'm looking forward to you doing one.
We'll take that challenge.
That's the challenge. And you know, we're not the most talented bunch, but it was very funny. It was very good. And I guess either they were feeling entertained or they felt sorry for us. One of the, but anyway, as you said, 175 aspiring contestants with inspiring entries were received from students across the county on a wide range of topics and concerns. And as you said, 40 semi-finalist entries, 20 from the middle schools, 20 from the high schools were selected and judged by a very outstanding panel, people outstanding in their own fields of, based on creativity, feasibility, and profitability. All of these things all of these qualities were what the judges look for in the entries. And as you know, you were one of the esteemed uh, judges on the panel, and we're very fortunate to have people of your caliber. So we also provided valuable prizes for the winning entries, and were generously provided by, which were generously provided by various businesses in our community. So every student who took the Imipono challenge should be commended for putting their time and talents toward making Maui County a better place. Everybody contributed to Maui being a better place. And so now we are very pleased that the Chamber of Commerce and Maui Economic Opportunity have offered to shepherd the Imipono Challenge in its next phase. And yes, the challenge will continue and grow to even greater heights. We are eagerly looking forward to current and future participants making their mark in achieving a thriving and sustainable economy for all of Maui County. So please accept our warmest and best wishes for success to all of you. Aloha from the council.
Aloha, Shirley. Thank you so much. And I don't know what we'll do. I can only speak for myself. My team is very talented and often has hidden talents, but I can't sing. I like to dance, but I don't know that anybody wants to watch me do it. So, but I have been known for providing comic relief. So I think we'll try and lean that way. But if you haven't seen the council's video, I'm sure it's still online. It was a lot of fun, and they all actively participate. It was really a hoot, and you know we'll work on trying to up all of us. We'll try and up our game this year so it's even more fun. But the exciting thing, as Charlie shared, was the visions of the 175 youth who put their application forward. Everybody was a winner in this process that she shared. And today we're going to hear from the winners. But there are so many more stories also to be told. And what's phenomenal is the degree to which the youth that you're going to hear from tonight, these young leaders, invested their time and energy into putting their winning entries together. So with that, let's just jump right into it. We are going to begin with Xavier Katsuda. Xavier attends EL Intermediate School. He is in the 6th grade and was the 2nd place winner for the middle school category. Xavier is 12 years old and was born here in Maui to Ian and Zaira Katsuda with his younger brother Ezekiel Katsuda. Xavier is currently a 6th grader, as I mentioned, and enjoys listening to all different types of music, playing guitar. Maybe Xavier will tap into you for helping with the video presentation we're going to need to do. He also is continuing to learn jiu-jitsu at Maui Grappling Academy, loves going to the beach, snorkeling, surfing, bodyboarding, and spending time with his family and friends. He aspires to one day be a marine biologist in order to protect our endangered species and finds ways to decrease the human race's negative effects on the environment and ensure the current marine life is around for future generations to enjoy. Xavier's Imipono project is focused on water conservation and is a real win-win decision for the environment and financially for members of the Maui community. His favorite quote is, "The difference between the impossible and the possible lies in a person's determination." That's by Tommy Lasorda. Xavier's project is Sprinkly Sprinklers. All right, Xavier, we're going to let you take it away. And for those who are watching, everybody is muted and their video's down. So we're going to give everybody a second or two to transfer between speakers to get them all queued up. All right, there's Xavier.
Hello.
Welcome. Aloha. All right, Xavier, before Amber queues up your project, give us a quick overview. Tell us a little bit about your project and participation.
It's about a moisture sensing sprinkler system that will conserve water.
Our very precious resource. Awesome. Okay, so Amber's got it queued up. Let's watch Xavier's project, and feel free if you want to interject as the video runs, or I will have you share a little bit after.
Ola ikawai. Water is life. Aloha. My name is Xavier Katsuda from Sprinkly Sprinklers. Our motto is saving you money, saving Maui's water. Here on Maui, our primary source of drinking water is groundwater, that is, fresh water filtered through mountain watersheds and held in volcanic rock of the island. The increasing demand for water from Maui's increased population and tourist industry, combined with the rising ocean levels, have shrunken the supply of fresh water. While Maui's population continues to grow, our water supply does not. So what now? We need to continue to water our agriculture while conserving water needed for drinking and sustaining life on Maui. So water conservation is the key. Our solution to help solve the problem of water conservation is to provide a sprinkler system that has moisture sensors to track how much water is already in the soil, so that on drier days it would automatically turn on during the early morning hours or at night to prevent evaporation during the day. And on days that it would rain, the system would not turn on. The sprinklers on. The sprinkler system runs on batteries that are attached to solar panels in order to make use of solar energy that we have here in Hawaii. Additionally, customers are able to adjust the moisture setting depending on how wet their soil needs to be for what they're growing. Who is our target market? Everyone! Water conservation helps our local Maui residents and companies to lower their water bills and conserve water. How are you helping the Kai'alu? Our business will help Hawaii's environment, agriculture, people's water bills, and create jobs for local people for many years to come, as well as provide water conservation education for students. We support the relationship to Hawaiian culture and the Aina because water conservation is an important part in preserving our decreasing freshwater supply and planning for greater needs for the future generations. I believe that our company is taking needed steps towards helping to solve the water conservation problem and this economic crisis on Maui. Take these steps with us. Mahalo.
Excellent. All right, Xavier, do you want to give us a few comments on putting that together?
Yes, the Imipono contest was challenging because it was difficult to think about an idea that would help our community while also helping our environment. And once I thought of the idea, there was a lot of work that I had to do to complete the project.
Well, you certainly did a great job. As I Shirley shared, I was one of the people who got to see these projects and participate in the judging process along with many others. And yours hit a little close to home because it turns out my other half is a sprinkler and irrigation systems expert. So we know great people who can help you take this to the next level. So we'll connect, but excellent work. All right, well, thank you. For those listening, we're gonna bring Xavier back after we go through all of the presentations. So now let me introduce you to Wyatt Vanderlee, who is with EL Intermediate School. He is a sixth grader. He took first place in the middle school contest. Wyatt is entering the seventh grade next year. His passions include surfing, mountain biking, and gaming. Inspired by his love of the ocean and science, he aspires to be a marine biologist. His inspiration for Imipono Challenge concept came from his mom's work at Pono Farm, an aquaponics greenhouse project for the Sustainable Living Institute of Maui at Maui College. He has seen firsthand at the college how aquaponics and hydroponics could grow food faster and with less water than conventional soil-based farming. Wyatt will be discussing the importance of Maui vertical greenhouses. Aloha, Wyatt.
Aloha.
All right. Would you like to cue up your slides, or do you have an opening comment, or do you just want to get right into them?
Can we just get right into it, please?
You bet. Okay, I'll turn you over to Amber.
My name is Wyatt Vanderlee.
My name is Wyatt Vanderlee. My company name is My Greenhouses, and it's where farms take a vertical change. My business idea is to create vertical greenhouses, which vertical greenhouses are good because the crops are planted on top of each other on little slabs, as you can see in the picture to the left. Also, you can create vertical greenhouses in shipping containers, as you see to the right. And it's pretty easy to farm because they're on in a straight line. If we create vertical greenhouses, we can create lots of job offers because COVID-19 has put everybody and businesses bankrupt, so people got fired. So if we create vertical gardens, then we could give them to the farmers markets and restaurants, so it also supports other people's businesses. Plus, we could grow different types of food for the restaurants we're giving it to or the farmers markets we're giving to. Also, vertical greenhouses don't rely on tourism because they're using local people for jobs. And if we create greenhouses or vertical greenhouses, the plants are much more stronger than if we did a farm because wind and bugs can't get in the greenhouse or in pretty much mostly all types of greenhouses. And as I said earlier, it doesn't rely on tourism. Thank you for listening to my Imipono project, and aloha. Kaya.
Awesome. Okay, Wyatt, tell us a little bit about putting that together. Oh, you're muted.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's all right.
I got my idea from my mom because when I visited the college, that really showed how important greenhouses are and how good greenhouses are to help plants, and then also it helps jobs or people get jobs because there's a lot of effort to put into greenhouses and to make them.
Thank you so much. Did you enjoy doing this?
Yeah, I would say it was pretty fun.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, well, we love that. And as you know, the college has great programs there, and there are many businesses on Maui, even traditional farmers who've moved to hydroponics. And then, of course, over the last decade, we've seen some people moving into aquaponics. So great resources for you here right on island. Fantastic. Okay, well, we'll hear a little bit more from Wyatt at the end after all the presentations. Mahalo, Wyatt. Okay, next I'd like to introduce you to Michael Dejas. He is with Kihei Charter School. He is in the 12th grade and took 3rd place in the high school competition. Michael is a senior at Kihei Charter School. He is originally from Washington State and moved to Maui just under a year ago. Growing up, he worked on cars as a mechanic for his father's company, repowering boards. Okay, that sounds very interesting to me. Repowering those electronic boards. It sounds like very techy. From then on, he started to pursue a career in welding and enjoys working with his hands. With a strong family connection, he wants to be able to use this work experience and passion to help provide for this beautiful place he now calls home. Aloha, Michael, and welcome.
Aloha, thank you for having me.
We're so glad to have you. Thank you for participating. Do you want to queue up your project?
Yeah, I think, let's see, are you guys going to be queuing that up?
Yes, Amber will have the program up, and you can direct her as you need to move through the slides.
Perfect, thank you.
You bet.
All right, so a Healthier Maui, I haven't quite created my own name quite yet, but this is basically a sustainability project by myself, Michael Dejas. So, food affects us all. Having a nutrient-rich and healthy diet can really improve many aspects of our daily life and our health. Benefits of a healthy diet affect you greatly as a human being, and it has since really the dawn of humanity. Things like weight control, a better memory, and a better mood are all directly affected by what food you eat on the daily. Our bodies run on fuel, but when we decide to neglect the quality or to just settle for something easy, it can affect us in the opposite way. The US adult obesity rate stands at 42.4% of citizens. That's from 2019 data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's Behavioral Risk Factor Surveillance System. So the data further goes on to say that the conditions and lifestyles that people live in directly affect obesity. So big blockchains don't do anything to help the situation either. Just building a fast food restaurant on every corner to make it the easiest and most accessible source of food out there. But what if there's a way to provide healthy and nutritious food? To maybe ingrain an idea that teaches children what produce is? What if, while making produce more available, we could shift the way our minds think about food? Then our next slide. So the change. There is a social disconnect from society today about food, where it comes from. When you ask a little kid where some lettuce comes from, they're gonna say it comes from the store. And while that's not necessarily wrong, it shows us their thought process. Lettuce comes from a store, not from a farmer or a distributor, local growers, or even from the earth. And that's where I think we can make an impact. The basis of this project hangs on an area to grow fresh food. If I can use a government-owned facility at little or to no charge, I can provide a portion of that produce that I create to our local school systems. We can host field trips that allow students to see what we're doing, workshops to teach and have hands-on education. One of my favorite quotes to emphasize this is from Ron Finley. You may have seen his masterclass on the basics of farming, or even his TED Talk about growing food in South Central LA, which is where I get this quote from. He says, "If kids grow kale, they eat kale. If kids grow tomatoes, kids eat tomatoes. If they're not shown how food affects the mind and the body, they'll eat whatever you put in front of them." So that's sobering, isn't it? But it's real. The children growing up today, the ones that are doing homework right now or playing outside right now, they're going to shape our future and what our society looks like within the next 20 to 30 years. So if we can touch their hearts and teach them, kind of really show them what a healthy lifestyle can be, then that'll have a butterfly effect on every aspect of their life. And it'll have an effect on others around them. And once you have enough people doing something, then it becomes a trend, then it becomes popular, and everybody wants to do it. But where do we start? Next slide. So what needs to happen? My project is built on hydroponics and the no waste movement. Hydroponics is a way of farming without soil as a growing media. Instead, water is pumped through the roots of plants, where all the nutrients is filtered and used. For nutrients, fish are added and grown in the water system. They release liquids and solids that help grow a really strong and nutritional plant. Okay, these systems are built with 2 pools of fish, with plumbing connected to pallet racks that create a minimum of 288 square feet of farmable area with only a footprint of 42 square feet. The fish used would either be rainbow trout or tilapia. Both are excellent candidates and good eating fish with a relatively short growth span. The diversity for growing produce is much larger. Leafy plants like kale, lettuce, and chard all grow extremely well. Microgreens and herbs also respond quite well to hydroponics. And other plants that can be grown could include tomatoes, cucumbers, beans, peppers, strawberries, and much more.
John? Turn off
once-
the TV.
Once harvest time comes, I will be able to prepare the fish and produce on their own designated stations. Afterward, the prepared products will go into refrigeration and the waste will go to a compost bin that houses red worms. From there, I could sell to local hotels, resorts, restaurants, and even at the farmer's market. By selling to restaurants and resorts, they get to say that they're supporting this local community-driven company. They also get the benefit of preparing and selling the produce and fish for a profit to themselves. By doing this, I hope to create a more sustainable economy, a healthier community, and a stronger Ohana. That's it.
That is excellent. Thank you, Michael. Tell us a little bit about putting this entry together.
Well, it was definitely, it took a lot of time, but it's something I've always liked growing food, and it's always been something really satisfying.
Oh, I froze for a minute, but I'm hoping everybody else did not. Okay, maybe it's just me.
No, you're fine. He's
No,
from
it's not
side
just
as
you.
well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for the input. That's okay. Well, we'll
To me to be able to go to.
oh, we got it. You know what, Michael, you cut out for a little bit. We lost you for a little bit.
I'm sorry.
No,
Should
no,
I
that's
backtrack?
okay. Yeah, we lost you a little bit after. Yeah, backtrack about a sentence or two.
Okay, well, you know, I've always grown up growing food, and this is something that hopefully I'll get to be able to share that passion, share that joy with other people, and to really create a community that's based around food, which is obviously something else. I love food, and it's and healthy food nonetheless. If we can create a better community, a safer, a healthier community, then we could be on the forefront of something amazing. And I'm really excited about that.
Well said. And I appreciate, you know, especially with these COVID times, you know, we need to really look at our health. We're doing things very differently, and all the remote working, we're sitting down more, we're not exercising as much. So, you know, great project. Thank you for sharing. All right, well, we'll hear more about Michael as we get to the Q&A section. So it's now my pleasure to introduce Jacob Janikowski. He is with the Lanai High and Elementary School, is in the 10th grade. He was the second place winner at the high school level. He is 16 years old and will be a junior next year. And he worked on this project with the help of some of his classmates and school staff. So great, he's already leading a team environment to put this project together. And he recognized a trend that was happening. He said, together we made desks for students to keep and use for learning at home during and after the pandemic. So in this new remote work and learning environment, Jacob will be educating us on his home learning desk. Aloha and welcome, Jacob.
Hello, thank you. I had to share it as a PDF document instead of a slideshow because my school email wouldn't allow me to. If you want me to queue it up, I can.
That's totally
but
fine.
It's your,
or well,
it's your choice. Either.
I think Amber's got the slides maybe earlier from the school. Does this look like how you'd like to see it, or is it she can do it?
Yeah,
if you'd like.
Basically the same.
Okay.
It was just like the border is a little different. It's fine though. It doesn't cut anything out.
Okay. Why don't you? I'll let you work with Amber and direct her on going through the slides, and then we'll talk a little bit after the presentation.
Okay. So my name for the project isn't too creative. It's just I'm learning. You know, kind of real focused on the project more. We can get into it now. That's my entire intro. Sorry. Okay, so first we had to look at the problem that we were facing, and as we were tasked to figure out a way to help the economy, we decided to tackle the problem of home learning. Many children in the county and around the world aren't going to school in person, and it puts some children at risk of not being able to be educated properly, especially at their early ages and developmental stages. I know for me, it's really hard to stay focused at home, even with the learning environment. And like for some kids, they're doing it like in their living room, and all the noise and chaos around the house, it's probably a lot worse too. So, okay, we can go to the next slide. Okay, so our solution was to make desks that can be used as a designated area to do schoolwork when at home. This will be an excellent social service as it promotes a healthy environment because these desks are made of almost 100% recycled materials. This makes them extremely affordable and environmentally friendly while helping young children get an education, which will help society as well as the economy, which will help society as well as the economy in the future. Sorry. Okay, so the process was to 5 prototypes, which we did do, and we want to expand to 20 or 25 complete desks. This could be donated to the community for free. We were able to receive needed supplies from local vendors and organizations who were willing to pitch in, which with what they saw was garbage, but you know what they say, one man's trash is no man's treasure. The desks are made from used pallets and scrap plywood after disassembly. We cut, sanded, and put together, even painted some of the prototypes. Obviously, everything wasn't completely free, but what could cost somebody upwards of $100 would estimate for us less $7 is how much it cost us to make it. So this slide is basically all the costs of materials and this is the bottom where it says $174. This is pretty much the worst case scenario, is where if we had to buy everything, that's how much it would cost. Really, if I had to estimate how much like 5 desks would cost, I'd say maybe like $20 because we probably had to buy a box of screws, and that's really all. Everything else was donated to us for free or we already had with us to use. So they were really cheap to construct. We can go to the next. Okay. So these are the 5 prototypes right here that we made. They're in different shapes and sizes, and they're meant for younger kids, like 3rd grade and below. So they're shorter desks. So around like 18, 20 inches. And most of them have cubbies and they're flat on top. But like some of them are like planks and most of them are like just a flat sheet of plywood. So it's easier to write on. Okay, we can skip this one. Okay, so basically these are just like little profiles of all of the desks we made. This is the first one, that's the second one. You can see some of the differences in the size and shapes. And then there's the third, and then we have the 4th one. And then the 5th one was the very first one we made, so it's a little rougher. Yeah, that one this one's kind of like the black sheep, but he's pretty cool. We still have him. Okay, let me skip that one. Okay, so number 5 was the quickest to build because it was kind of like the first prototype where we were kind of just figuring things out to try and see what would happen. And then how fast can we build a desk? Well, with 1 or 2 people, usually we'd have maybe 3. We can make 2 to 3 desks a day. So it's only like a couple of hours for each desk from start to finish. And then the desks are for students in grades from kindergarten through 2nd or 3rd grade because they're smaller, they're meant for younger kids. But the desk can be donated to anybody who really needs one if they needed one that bad. So And then we can go to the next slide. Okay, and then basically we have desks, and then we're donating them to people in the community on island here. So that's for if anybody wanted to ask for a desk, they'd be able to ask us, and then we'd give it to them. We made 6 so far. We've donated 3, and we're waiting to donate more before we make more, but we have another set of 5 that we have the cuts made, and when we're ready to make more, we can assemble them and donate those as well. So, and I think that is the entire project. Yes, that's the presentation. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Jacob. Well, that's really remarkable and, very timely. I don't know if you've been hearing, but we're certainly hearing that wood is getting more and more expensive these days. So it's great to see how you've come up with a phenomenal low-cost option to create new furniture that's very much needed in this time and help so many families. Mahalo for that great project.
Thank you.
Did you want to share anything about the experience?
Well, it was fun to be able to work with like my friends and other community members, and my dad helped me a lot. He knows a lot about woodworking and stuff, so it was good to have him. And we're trying to like advertise and stuff right now to be able to donate more. So we're hoping that if anybody does need one, they'll be able to contact us, and we'll be able to give out another desk or 2 or all of them, hopefully. So.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay, so Jacob's going to be on standby, and we're going to introduce our final presentation tonight, and that is by Noelle Lowe. Noelle goes to Maui High School. She's in the 11th grade. She was the first place winner at the high school level. Noelle is a junior, and since her freshman year, she has been involved with media through her school's arts and communication pathway. So she has fallen in love with all aspects of media, script writing, to being on camera. Through her passion for media, she was able to come up with her Imipono challenge idea, a local lens. In addition to her passion for media, the Imipono project, and doing that work, she also loves performing arts. She is involved with a chorus, dance, and theater. She has a big passion for community service and recently just released a student-produced benefit concert. Social change is also one of her biggest passions in life, and she would like to say she is a young change maker. Noelle hopes to attend a university in New York or Boston one day and major in broadcast journalism with a minor in political science and be on the university's dance team. Promoting small businesses is always very important to the Chamber of Commerce and to our county, and Noelle will share a way to do that through her project, A Local Lens. Aloha, Noelle.
Hi, I'm Noelle, like my bio stated. I am 17 years old, and I am from Maui High School, a proud Saber. Woo! But yes, my project was called A Local Lens, and basically a little bit about it before we get into the video. It's a student-produced lifestyle show. As you all probably have seen, maybe Living 808 and shows like that on YouTube, like going around showing maybe like tourists, like the touristy spots. With this, it's kind of the same thing, but it's all produced by students, and it's featuring our lovely small and local businesses here on Maui.
Awesome. All right, let's watch.
Aloha, my name is Noelle Lowe. I'm a junior at Maui High School and have a passion for film and helping out my community.
These past months have been difficult for everyone, including our favorite local businesses. Some of our beloved restaurants and stores had to even close their doors in these past months.
This is why I wanted to combine my passion for filmmaking and help out the local businesses on Maui by creating a show.
Discover local with the local lens.
A Local Lens is a student-produced show featuring the amazing local businesses Maui has to offer.
This show would be fully run by students. This provides them with an opportunity to gain more experience with working in the film industry. Since the COVID-19 pandemic, the film and media industry has been one of the first to return in Hawaii. More job opportunities in the film industry are being offered on Maui. Students who want to go into film and media need more opportunities like this. So by having students run a whole show provides them with training, so they are prepared for professional film jobs when the time arrives. From grades 7 to 12, we would hire them to be part of the crew. We would have different teams switch off, so everyone would have a chance to run the show. For the students who have little to no experience, they would have a chance to intern and see firsthand how the student crew works. Once they do gain more experience, they would be able to join the crew to become one of the student crew members. Another upside to creating a student-produced show is that the local businesses would have an easier time paying the feature fee. Our mission at A Local Lens is to create new opportunities for students and advertise local businesses. Since we are students, our feature fee would be less, since we aren't considered professionals. Nonetheless, we will provide them with an amazing feature that will not only advertise, but really show everyone how great these local businesses are. We would be asking the local businesses for $1,000 to be featured in our show. This fee would cover the payment of staff and promotion of the show.
For our startup costs, we are asking Maui County Council to provide us with $37,000 to $40,000. This money would cover equipment, hardware, software, labor, marketing, office supplies, and PPE.
Not only would we have local businesses on our show, but we would have special guests. Maui has a lot of talent, local celebrities, and outstanding people. Having different guests on our show would not only be more interesting to watch, but we would also reach different audiences and showcase the wonderful people on Maui.
Before we even stream the show, how would A Local Lens gain viewers? Well, since the show is run by students, we would hire students to become social media advertisers.
They would promote it on apps such as Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok, reaching a wide range of audiences from young kids on TikTok to parents on Facebook. The show itself would be streamed on YouTube.
A question you might be asking is, would local businesses even be on board with this idea? Well, instead of hearing from me, let's hear from some of my favorite local businesses here on Maui and how they feel on A Local Lens.
I think, during this time, everyone, the small businesses, we all can use each other's help. And I think any kind of exposure is good exposure, and definitely showcasing local business and promoting all the little small local businesses is always a good idea.
Owner and operator of Waikapu on 30, a small plate lunch operation here in Waikapu, Wailuku, Maui. We also operate To and From Boutique, which we are in right now, standing. We're just talking to Noelle here about the possibility of promoting small business during this COVID pandemic, which is really difficult for the whole island, not to mention us as small operators. She came to us with the idea of students putting together a show that would promote small businesses across the island, no matter what type, shape, form. We can't say enough about how terrific that would be to do anything possible to promote business at this time. It's very difficult. We're lucky to be operating with family, friends, everybody pulling in, pitching in to making it happen. And if you can support her in this idea, and anything you can do for us small businesses, we surely would appreciate it. Mahalo.
You heard it here first. A Local Lens will give it their all in providing local businesses with advertisement and showcasing them. Not only that, but shaping the future filmmakers of Hawaii. Discover local with A Local Lens.
Fantastic. So it looked like you had a great time doing that, Noelle. Tell us about the crew that you had helping.
So I actually had, most of my friends are also media students. We all are in the arts and communication pathway at Maui High School. But the show opening actually was the graphics was done by my friend Samantha Della, who's also a junior at Maui High School and has been doing media since 6th grade at Maui Waina to Maui High. And then the person who did the theme song is actually from Seabury Hall. His name's Christian Lloyd, and he is a sophomore, upcoming junior, and he's really good at music production and singing. So he made that theme song for me. And then the girls who helped me film that was my two best friends, Logan Tsukiyama and Hana Okamoto, who also have been media students since 6th grade. The idea itself has actually kind of changed since then because we are looking to start it. But now we are thinking to do it more community service based, as have a newfound passion for community service. But instead of charging $1,000, which does seem a little weird now that I talk about it, but we're looking just to offer them that community service, and kids and students can put that on their resume, because a big thing that all students look forward to, especially since I'm going to be applying to colleges, community service. And it's something you can actually be proud of instead of just putting it on your resume to put it on your resume.
Well, love that.
So we're looking to do it more of a community service thing. And for the equipment wise, Maui High School has a bunch of equipment. My teacher, Mr. Gima, and I actually had a meeting with the principal, Mr. Yap, and we talked about using the equipment and the liability about that. And they were really supportive about it. So if we do, which we are probably going to launch it because I hope to make this an opportunity for students to come, we would be using Maui High's equipment if we weren't provided with our own.
Fantastic. Well, I love that you shared too that things morph. You know, a lot of times we create plans, and as we get further into them, learn more details, or our life changes, or our interest changes. Sometimes things morph into different projects or different directions, but that's awesome and great job. Okay, I'm going to ask all of our panelists to be front and center. We're going to start with some questions and give each one of you a chance to answer each of the following questions that we're going to ask. So if everybody can queue up and get ready. The first question is that we're going to ask of all of you, but we'll start with Xavier, is given this process, the fact that you've been recognized as participating and as winners, how has this changed your life as a result of participating in the Imipono Challenge? So we'll begin with you, Xavier. Okay, you're not on mute, but we can't hear you yet for some reason. But we can see ya. Not yet. I can hear some adjustments. Nope, not yet. Okay, I'll tell you what, Xavier, hang tight. I'm gonna come right back to you. Let me see, just so for 10.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, we can, perfect. Okay. All right, do you remember the question? That's okay, I'll reshare it. The question was, Xavier, being a part of this process and being, recognized for this great accomplishment, how has participating in the Imipono Challenge changed your life?
Well, as a result of participating in the Imipono Challenge, my life has changed in that I now look around and see different ways of improving our community and not being so reliant on tourism. One of those ways would be by helping local farmers and maybe giving locals some kind of incentive to buy locally so that we aren't so reliant on food being shipped here.
Fantastic, thank you. Okay, Wyatt, same question. How has participating in the Imipono Challenge changed your life?
I got a really nice prize and I used it to buy a surfboard, and then that was really great to have during COVID because we didn't have much sport options. I also put most of the money into my college fund, so then that would really help me in the future. I also learned that food is mostly imported from Main Island and then other places. So then it was really important to know that growing food locally is really good for our community and good for local businesses.
I love that you learned all that, put money away, and did something fun. So that's awesome. Okay, Michael, same question for you.
So, it's really getting to learn about the project and about hydroponics has really sold me myself on the fact that doing that, growing that, using that system, using that process is really very efficient. And even if nothing comes of my project, which I want stuff to happen with it. I know even in my own life, I would like to hopefully one day have my own hydroponic system to, cut down, have my own effect on our community.
I think that's excellent. The good news is that there's a lot of fun ways to make hydroponic systems. And so some, just as we've been learning with some amazing guests, there's also very effective, cost-effective ways to make them. And, I love that you really want something to come forward from your project. And I sure hope it does. But I think that's, again, it'll come down to you, but we've got some great partners that we can pair you with and some people who can help. So we're excited to talk to you about how we can move forward. Okay, Jacob, tell us a little bit about how Imipono has changed your world.
Okay. I think the biggest thing for me, it's opened my eyes to sort of see that where I live, in my hometown of Lanai City, isn't an inconvenience like how it seemed. Like before, I would think like nobody really cares, nobody pays attention to us, but like, because we're never on the news, nobody ever talks about what's happening over here. But now, like, I can see that you don't have to be from Maui or Oahu or California to show everybody something. You can do your thing where you are, and if it's important enough, it'll show to everybody else.
That's really remarkable too. I'm glad that you understand that the good work that you're doing resonates out. And here in the neighbor islands, I can remember when I was growing up saying, gosh, the only time that Maui is featured on the news is when, somebody was bitten by a shark or, there was a major tragedy. And we never really got to showcase all the cool things that we were doing. And yet we got to watch all that was happening on Oahu. And thankfully, media is changing, so it's getting better.
Yeah.
But as you point out, just doing great things within your community, right where you are, making a difference in your own place, does resonate out and touches so many lives. Yeah, great observation. And Noelle, how did this change your world and life?
Well, with the prize, actually, since I did win first, which I was super shocked about, but with the prize, I was actually able to produce my benefit concert, which I did talk about in the bio. That was a long 4 or 5 months coming, but I was able to use a lot of the money for that. I did save one of the gift cards for myself, because you gotta treat yourself sometimes.
Right, good.
So I did buy a bunch of clothes because I love clothes. But besides that, I do have actually a lot of the money left. I have around $1,000 left, I think. 1,000 or 500, around there. But I am saving that for a local lens, actually, and hoping if this idea does come to be, then I will use that money to help my local lens. But besides the prize, obviously, this challenge has really impacted my life and changed it, because I didn't really realize how big of an impact this project could be till I won. I was quite shocked, and I was like, wow, with this project, I could provide more opportunities for the youth of today. I mean, my generation has so much undiscovered talent, and they don't have enough opportunities for them, especially in the media field. Media is so much more used now, especially for TV filming. A lot of reality shows are filmed here. And if we provide opportunities for the youth, they have more of an easier time getting those jobs. And I feel with this type of project, And with more projects to come, I can provide more opportunities for the youth of today.
Fantastic. Well, that is very true. And, you know, we are hoping to do these internship programs as well, and we're going to need some videography for that. So we'll be keeping you in mind and reaching out on that side too.
Sounds
okay,
great.
let me, awesome, thank you. Okay, we're going to circle back. So I'm going to start again with Xavier. And let me ask this question now. What is the most important thing that you looked at when creating your plan? What is the most important business concept or planning concept that you learned as you created your plan? And we'll do that. We'll start with Xavier on this.
The most important thing I learned was that preparation and planning is the key, which is why all of my prize money went to my college fund.
You know, I'm sure that that is a great way. Savings is so important, but also I'm sure your parents are thrilled because it takes a lot of investment, and we want you all to get the best education possible. Okay, fantastic. How about you, Wyatt?
Probably my favorite part was learning about the different types of farms and then what goes into building farms. And then the most important thing I learned was how much time, resources, and money actually goes into building farms, and then how much work people actually have to do to think of it and then put in the work effort of doing it.
Yeah, very good point. You know, farming is one of the toughest jobs. Lots of physical labor, lots of challenges in farming. You have to plan far ahead to put the crops in the ground, and you never know what the weather's going to bring. And then you never know what the market conditions and the challenges are going to be. So farming is very tough. So I'm glad you learned some great lessons there. Oh, fantastic. Okay, Michael, tell us about what you learned.
I think my favorite part of the project was really compiling information, learning about hydroponics, and really kind of diving deeper into just reading an article. I really got to learn the life cycle of the fish, what exactly what produce would be good. But I'd have to say the most important thing I learned was a sense of community. A project and a business is just an idea if you don't have a community behind it and supporting it. And I think that's the most important thing that I kind of found throughout reaching out to people and doing my own research.
That's very good and very true as well. You know, in any business, it takes a remarkable team, and not just any business. In government, you know, Shirley was on earlier, right? It takes a team to make things happen, and surrounding yourself with good people who are committed to the cause, whether it's a government cause, a for-profit cause, or a nonprofit cause. You know, we get far more done when we do it together. So great lesson. Okay, and Noelle.
I think you skipped over Jacob.
Oh, excuse me. I did actually. Forgive me, Jacob. Thank you, Noelle.
No
Jacob.
Thanks, Noelle. That's okay. My favorite part is probably like just the physical labor, just building the desks themselves, because I take like wood shop and I build stuff with my dad all the time, so I already kind of knew what I was doing, and I can get into like my groove and just pump stuff out. And then most important thing I learned, when I look back at it, it reminds me of, it's kind of like the first question, but when I look back at it, it reminds me of this quote that I heard. And it's not from, I don't know where it's from originally, but I heard it from this professional skateboarder. His name is Chris Jocelyn, and it's not his quote, but he says, "Don't let your past determine your future." And, you know, like what I was saying, even from here, like you can do it. You can do it wherever you're from, no matter where you're from. He meant it a little differently, but no matter who you are, where you're from, like if you have something that is troubling you, channel that into your future.
Absolutely. Yep. You can always make a difference. And, the best part of life is it's about lifelong learning. And everybody makes mistakes in life, and people have different paths, but we can all overcome that as long as that's what we choose to do. And so that's an excellent quote. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, and Noelle.
I would have to say my favorite thing about participating in the Imipono challenge would be working on the project itself. I am definitely, when I'm super passionate about something, I will work on it. Like that will be the only thing I work on. So this project was a little bit like fun for me in a sense. I mean, obviously kind of stressful, but it was really fun being able to just work on it to see it grow. And then the most important thing I've learned when creating this, I think, I know someone else did this, but considering all aspects of it, especially with a lifestyle show, you have so many aspects to consider. I mean, it's not just doing film and doing photography, but it's writing a script, it's getting it out in social media, it's contacting businesses, learning how to be professional. There's so many things you can learn from this. And I feel that throughout this process, I have grown as a person and as a young change maker, wanting to reach out to different influencers, different businesses. I had that professionalism in me, and that was probably the most important thing I've learned when creating this. Definitely.
That's the beauty of learning and opportunities. And one of the things my mother used to always say is never count yourself out. And those who jump in are the ones that gain the most, because you do get so many different opportunities to grow and succeed. And just imagine how this has catapulted you forward, not to mention that the prize money helped you create a production you were dying to do. So that's awesome. Okay, well, we're going to go back into the circle again. Only this question is, what is your vision for Maui's future? And what important message would you want to share with our current leaders? So Xavier, we're going to start with you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
My vision for Maui's future is one where more things are produced locally and not shipped here, and one where we try to decrease the impact on the environment. The message that I would like to share with leaders is that children can make a positive difference if you show us that you are willing to support and teach us that our environment and our community is a priority, no matter what your age is.
Very well said. Great advice. Thank you. And I just want you all to know tonight you're sharing that message. The council invested in this program, and everybody is getting to learn from each of you. So well said, and important that you're sharing. You want the feedback. You want to know you're being heard, and because then you're committed to doing more and helping to make a difference. So thank you for that. All right, Wyatt, what would you like to share? What's your vision?
My vision is that we're less reliant on outside sources, and then we're more independent from just our state instead of getting things imported and shipped here. And then I ask our local leaders to please support the local businesses so they can recover from COVID-19, because that put everybody in like a really big pickle. And then it had families like have a really bad situation with money and stuff.
Thank you so much for that. No, that's very true. And this is a time, and you folks are leading the way. It's really important that we all stand together. As you point out, many local businesses were devastated, and even though we're starting to see recovery come back, rents for the places they rented, or whether they leased space to do farming, or they had a retail shop or a restaurant, when it was really tough and they struggled to survive, we still have a lot of debt that's owed to pay back the money that that was accumulating as many of those places sat vacant. So it's a long haul. And it's really important that we support everybody and continue to remember to buy Maui County first, and support everybody on our local island. And yeah, if we can do more and stop importing, I know many of you have said that. That would be a huge help. Okay, and I'm sure that Michael's going to agree with that. So Michael, I'm going to punt to you.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. You know, if I could be part of a role that can help Maui to become more self-sufficient, if not fully self-sufficient, then that would be amazing. And for the leaders out there, I think looking for ideas in all the places would be, you know, good, because there are ideas out there and ideas that everyone has. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm sorry. I thought I had something planned out, but I lost it.
That's quite all right. That's quite all right. Well, and you know, one of the things too that I love that you said earlier as well is you talked about the importance of doing the research and doing the homework. And, you know, the data counts as we're making decisions, you know, understanding, you know, the different situations, the pros and the cons, and doing the research really helps us plan forward. So, you know, thank you for digging in and doing a lot of that. That's a great help. Okay, and to you, Jacob, what's your vision and what would you like to share with our local leaders?
Hi. I feel like I'm standing on a soapbox when I say this, but my vision and my message that I want to share, I'd like there to be more opportunities spread out for places like here or Hana, or I don't know about Molokai, but I would assume that they would like more there too. But I want there to be more opportunities just with maybe even like different sporting facilities or anything that where kids can put themselves and apply themselves to something that they want to do. Because then, you know, you need to have a passion and then you can use that for your future and you can be able to do more.
Absolutely. This, you know, and when it's your moment, stand and take the soapbox. It's okay. Because I'll tell you, sometimes in life you don't have many opportunities. But I appreciate you sharing that. And you know, I do want to say too, Chair Lee's here and listening as well as many others. You know, there's voices like yours we'd love to hear more of during council meetings. I know often a lot of what happens takes place when you're in school, but during the summer, I encourage you to kind of tune in and listen to some of the discussion happening. And feel free to share some of your thoughts because there's great opportunities to do that. And I love that you talked about, you know, diversity, not just looking at your space, but how can we improve Maui County, which was lovely. Okay, and now Noelle, tell us a little bit about your vision and any message you'd like to share with our leaders.
Well, besides wanting to be self-sufficient and using more of our local businesses and utilizing them more, my vision of Maui's future is exposing, I talk about the youth a lot, exposing our youth to what's really happening in the world. I mean, I think COVID was probably one of the most controversial times. I mean, you had like the Black Lives Matter movement, the Stop Asian Hate movement, the Free Palestine, and so many things are happening. And I feel so much of our youth isn't exposed to it. And they're so clueless about it. They're like, oh, well, it doesn't happen on Hawaii, but it does. And it maybe doesn't happen as much as it does on the mainland, but it's still present here. And I feel that the youth of today needs to be exposed to that and needs to understand what is happening and needs to be educated more on it. Just because we are so young and we can't understand doesn't mean we should learn, because we are the future generation. And that's kind of my vision of Maui's future. And then an important message I'd like to share to our current leaders is provide more current events to our education system. I feel we talk so much about history, which is quite important, obviously, where we come from, our roots, definitely. But we also need to be aware of what's happening now, because we're only going to go more into the future. And yeah, we know our history, but do we know what's happening right now? And yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Nicole. And, you know, I'm glad you brought that up, because sometimes we do feel a little far removed. You mentioned some of the movements, and yet each of you is talking about college and looking at going off to school and working with more to it's one thing here in Maui County, and then every time we go further and beyond, go to the mainland or go to large colleges or experience some of these things firsthand, we really learn a whole lot. And my daughter went off to college and lives in Kansas City, Missouri, where every day the Black Lives Movement is very much a part of her life, as an example, and is constantly, she's also an educator, but teaching people things, because it's not that we don't care and want to relate to it, we just haven't lived it. So understanding the nuances and that exposure is really important. And it's a time unlike any other that we've seen. I mean, the pandemic, my mother's sort of a historian. She always said, well, it's funny that nobody sort of expected a pandemic. They kind of come around every so many years, but clearly, across the globe, we were caught off guard. But in addition to that, we are seeing so many different movements and uprisings. And, we now see on the news that other areas are at war. And now we're reminded that this is a time of great change. This is a time for making significant differences. And to quote the Speaker of the House and many others who've said it before, if not now, when? So we are excited to hear each of you share your thoughts and things that we can all listen to you and learn. How can we help make these things better? How can we continue to spur and inspire you, or our best and brightest, as well as ourselves, to help support a better infrastructure, a better climate, where we can make these significant changes and address the needs of our future generations and generations beyond. Okay, we're going to do the speed round now. I'm just going to ask you one simple question and have you ring in on a quick answer. And the question is, since we're getting close to our ending time, in business, many people, not just business, in nonprofits and business and government, we all have ideas and we have plans. And sometimes we start down that path and, sometimes things don't work or sometimes they do work. But we realize maybe technology has changed or our interests have changed or money dries up. So my question to you now, given the great work that each of you has done, are you interested in pursuing the project that you won an award for? So let's start with Xavier. Xavier, are you interested in moving forward with your project?
Yes, I would absolutely love the opportunity to move forward with my project because with my project, wait, hold on.
It's okay, it glitched for just a second, but we heard you'd love to move forward with your project.
To help my community conserve water, help locals to conserve money, and to plan for a future where Maui is more self-sufficient. I feel that this would also show other kids that our ideas can be taken seriously and we can be the change that we want to see.
Fantastic. How about you, Wyatt?
I am still interested into pursuing my vertical greenhouse idea, and then I would like to probably put it either at a school or a college, because if people are interested in learning about aquaponics or hydroponics, it could help them really learn about plants and botany and stuff. Then that would be really useful for people to learn, and it could be used as a learning resource.
Absolutely. Great. Okay, Michael.
Yes, by all means, to that end, I'm willing to go for it. Yeah.
Keep pursuing. Fantastic. Jacob?
Hello. Hi. Yeah, I am willing to continue pursuing, especially with a smaller scale and having a smaller group. It's a lot more feasible for us to continue. And it's not there's not gonna be too many roadblocks, so why not continue with it? So
Fantastic. And how about you, Noelle?
100%. I'd love to do this idea. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes, yes. Fantastic. Well, I just want to thank each and every one of you. And I want to thank Chair Lee and all of our council members and the administration for their support for creating the Imipono Challenge. Mahalo to Debbie Kabibi and the MEO team, who we are excited to work with to further the Imipono Challenge and move into 2021. To the County Office of Economic Development for funding some of the continuing program work, and to all of our phenomenal presenters. I just want to remind everybody who we had on tonight. Noelle Lowe, Maui High School, 11th grade, our first place winner in the high school level. Jacob Janikowski, Lanai High and Elementary School, 10th grade, and our second place winner. Michael Dejas, Kihei Charter School, 12th grade, third place winner. Wyatt Vanderlee, EL Intermediate School, 6th grade, our first place winner in the middle school category. And Xavier Katsuda, EL Intermediate School, 6th grade, second place winner. Each of you is a tremendous inspiration to all of us. Mahalo for sharing your ideas. We look forward to continuing to work with you and following your successes. And we also want to thank everybody who joined in this evening. I hope each of you, as inspired as we all are, this has been just a wonderful evening to hear from these different winners. And just imagine, as Chair Lee shared in the beginning, think about, we started with 175 applications. We pared down to 40 finalists, which was grueling, really, really grueling. And then from the 40 finalists, imagine the tremendous difficulty to pare down to the finalists. But what we need to remember is we are so blessed to have such inspiring young leaders who are, through this, clearly they had passions before this project and exciting ideas, but through this project, it fueled and inspired them. And now we are getting to benefit from those ideas, to hear how this project changed their life, to hear how participating in the Imipono contest changed their life is encouraging them to continue to get involved and do more. So we want to thank everybody for participating tonight. It has been a wonderful program. I need to thank Amanda Martin, who helped us plan it. I need to thank the chamber team and Amber Kutsos, who's on tonight helping to run the slides. But, again, it just shows what we can all accomplish. We can accomplish far more when we work together. Mahalo, everybody. I just want to wish you aloha and hui ho. You'll be hearing more later.
Bye.
Aloha.
Aloha. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. We'll be
Aloha.
reaching out. Thank you,
Thank you,
Chairman.
guys. Have a good rest of your week.
You too. Take great care and know that if there's anything we can do to help, we're just a phone call away at the chamber. Okay. We'll talk to you soon. Aloha.